Hello and welcome back to the Flat Chat. I'm Heggy, here with Aaron and Callum. We've got some scran in front of us today, a wee bit of a mukbang style video. Some marshmallows, some biscuits and some randoms.
Not sponsored, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's very cold in here, as you can tell, so we've all got hoodies on. But today what we're going to be doing is just talking about the World Cup.
Yeah. Yep.
And probably mainly focusing on the games coming up, which will be today when you see the video and tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, is there any game that you boys want to particularly kick off with?
How about we start off with the first game that's getting put out, and that is Brazil-Croatia.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. That's the 3 o'clock kickoff here in the UK, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Comfortable win for Brazil, do we all see happening?
I think it will be. I think we all do agree with that. Like, especially how they dismantled South Korea and that as well. They pretty much didn't even have to try very much, and then they already dismantled them. This is them hitting, I think, their form for hopefully going on and winning the tournament. Yeah.
Do you think Richarlison will get another goal or two in this game?
I think he will. I think he's been playing very, very well, and that is, it's hard to deny. He's had a fantastic tournament for Brazil, and I think he'll get another couple of goals in this one. I think they've got the most balanced squad out of the rest of the teams left. Mm-hmm. Yep. And they've been boosted big time with Neymar coming back as well. Yeah, I think. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think there's any key weaknesses you see there? Maybe fullback?
I'd say fullback probably the closest. It's the closest to a weakness that I think you can get, but even still, I just don't think it really... I think the rest of the team is just so strong. I think just even bringing in like an Adrian Militao to play at right back, I know it's not his natural position, but he can play there. It's me 3 solid centre halves, pretty much playing in a back 4.
And we see how high they get as well. There was the 2 centre backs that set up.
I'm telling you, I think with the way that, like, obviously they don't have what we call natural fullbacks, but you see the best teams in the world playing with near enough a centre back at right back. You know, Paul Walker can play centre back for Man City.
Ben
White for Arsenal. The versatility is more where modern football's going. I don't think there's very many out and out proper fullbacks in the bigger teams now. But Man City do have. Man City, of course, obviously. There's still have Cancelo. I just mean that there's quite often one of the fullbacks is a centre back. A lot of them cross over. Definitely.
Yeah.
Even John Stones has played centre back for Man City. Exactly. But I do think that Brazil don't really have much weakness.
What's our score predictions for this one? I'm going 3-0 Brazil.
I'm going 2-0 Brazil. I'm going to agree with Heggie and say 3-0 Brazil. I think that's my fairly comfortable. We're not giving Croatia a chance here. I don't think so, because let's be honest, they got through because of some rather woeful penalties from Japan. Really.
Yeah, it was one of the worst penalty shootouts I've ever seen. Yeah, there was another bad one as well.
Exactly. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it's just too casual for Japan in that as well. Yep. Although to be fair, Croatia themselves hit one of the most casual penalties I've ever seen, and I'm so glad it got saved. Like, it's one of those ones.
Hit the post.
I hit the post, or I think, did he not tip it under the post, or was it just straight off the post? I'm not sure, I need to go back, but casual penalties are not the one. It's a World Cup penalty shootout, at least take it seriously, come on. Yeah. No, I think Croatia, it's run their course. I think they've rode their luck. They have a wee bit, they've obviously still got some class players. We've been talking about Modric getting to the end of his career for years now, and he still feels to be the player that's carrying that team. Yeah. I think Perisic had quite a slow start. He did get the goal though that put them level with Japan. Yep. I just think this is it. They're up against a team that's just too good for them to spawn their way through this. I know this has been like the World Cup of shocks, but I'm with Cal. I think their time is now starting to come up.
I think if there's one positive we can give to Croatia, it is they know how to win knockout ties, but they haven't really put anyone out as big as Brazil in those tournaments where they've done well, especially in, when was it, 2018. The best team they faced was England, which is nowhere near as good as this Brazil team. No, not at all. Yeah. No. So we'll move on to the second game, which is, I believe, Netherlands v Argentina. Wee bit tougher to predict. I think it was quite easy to predict that Brazil would win. We could be wrong, but we'll exactly. We'll see. I think we may disagree here on what we think is going to happen. Aaron, do you want to kick us off though? I do want to kick us off. I was wavering about this all week and that as well. At the start of the week I would have said, well, the Netherlands played pretty well against the USA, and Argentina, they kind of maybe scraped through a little bit against Australia. Australia put in a really, really good performance. In the second half particularly. Definitely that as well. Fair play to them, that too. But the more and more I think about it,
the more and more I'm just leaning to Argentina to win. I think it'll be 2-1. I think it'll be a very, very good game, but it's got the really good potential. Netherlands, I think, have started to click going forward. Like some Gakpo, he's been playing really well. But obviously, with Argentina, you've obviously got the Messi factor, and obviously Fernandes and obviously Alvarez have been popping up with a few goals as well for Argentina. So I think this will be a really good game.
I think it will be a really good game. I think it will be really tight. I think it'll be quite cagey. I think 2-1's a good shout, but I'm going to go for a 1-0 to Argentina. And it will be Messi that gets the goal. I think that when we'll look back at the game, I've got a feeling that we'll look back at it and I think Netherlands were unlucky and they probably should have gone through. But the moment that Messi will give us, will win the game.
Yeah, like
1-0 for me.
Even that moment he gave us against Australia, like when
the goal,
even when he pretty much created it out of nothing. It was like a pinball at the edge of the ball. He takes the ball and then just passes it in the bottom corner.
He just came alive all of a sudden, and then he's scoring a goal. And if he does, he's just
that's what he does nowadays.
He conserves his energy. He kind of does a reconnaissance mission in the first half, and saves himself for the second half, and then sees where the space is. It's just very strange to see.
It's always fooling the defenders as well by not running about, letting them have a wee bit of space, and then whenever he gets the ball, he just comes alive.
Let's be honest here. If this was any other player doing what he does, he would be getting slated. He just has so much in the bank that you kind of now know what he's doing as well. People like Pep Guardiola's talked about it and done like a tactical insight on it, talking about what he's doing, and he's just amazed at him just walking about the pitch. It's like, it's just so amazing watching him. See, I know what he's doing. He's seeing the whole picture, the whole pitch, and just a picture in his head. But no, I think we would all.
I think this is where we'll start to see maybe Messi start to push it a bit more on that as well, because you could argue. Yeah, Argentina should have been beating these teams, and obviously he's been a big part of that whenever he's had done that in the second half. But I think this is the part of it when Messi will start to push it forward a wee bit as well, because this is now serious territory. It's quarterfinals, they're up against a really good team. They'll need every hand on deck in that as well. I don't think we'll see Messi walking about as much.
Argentina have grown into the tournament as well with Messi, but we've obviously talked a lot about Argentina there because obviously Aaron and I think they're the winner. I know Heggy, you maybe have a different view.
I think Netherlands will go through. I want Argentina to go through, just to see this Argentina-Brazil semi-final.
That would be great.
Oh, yeah.
But I just can't see past Netherlands. I've been so impressed by them. They've played harder teams than Argentina have. They've not lost. They destroyed USA. They destroyed Senegal over the course of the game. Qatar as well was easy. Mm-hmm. The only game they've really struggled was Ecuador, which was a draw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think Gakpo's playing too good. Dumfries was amazing. Mm-hmm. Even their older players like Daley Blind have been really good.
Yeah.
I just think they're going to have just a wee bit too much for Argentina this time. I think it will be 3-1 Netherlands, but I think it's going to become 3-1 late on. I think it's going to be 1 each the first half. Netherlands will get maybe a early second half, hold out, and then hitting the counter late in the second half.
Okay.
But I think it'll be one of the better games of the quarterfinals, potentially the best.
Yeah, you really.
I think it'll be the best to watch.
I think that's the thing. I think probably not. I think it's going to be the cagey one. I think it's going to be really cagey, but it's the one you want to watch because Messi's playing, and it's up against Van Dijk as well. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, very interesting.
What does Van Dijk do with him? Playing obviously kind of dropping very deep, but I think we're hopefully going to see Alvarez play again for Argentina because of how poor Lautaro Martinez. He's probably been one of the biggest flops of the tournament so far.
I'd say so. Yeah,
that miss that he had when he takes it first time and tries to just.
He's been real exactly. I would definitely be giving Alvarez a chance at 100%.
He's got to. His goal was great. Was that against Australia? It was the second goal.
Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah.
Great goal, good player, and he's I think he's one certainly for the future. Maybe even for now for Argentina.
Yeah, I think he'll be a big part if they go on to have another really deep run in that as well. And I'll be honest, I do want to see a result.
So Aaron, you're saying 2-1.
I'm saying 2-1 Argentina.
I'm saying 1-0 Argentina. You're saying 3-1 to the Dutch.
Right,
brilliant.
Yeah,
some differing opinions there.
Yep.
I think this game's going to be the most boring. The next one.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's going to be that.
Morocco will do exactly what they did against Spain. They'll sit in, try and play in the counter a wee bit, but they're very solid defensively.
Exactly.
It's going to take a lot for them to get broken down.
I think Spain's problem was the fact that they only know like the one style of play, the whole kind of passing play. Morocco just had that red for the entire 120 minutes, and Spain's penalties in the pit shootout were poor. I think that as well. But obviously, credit to the goalkeeper, Moroccan goalkeeper. He was fantastic.
Yeah, Bono.
Exactly.
Bono, yeah.
However
But
you
I
say
don't,
it.
I don't know either. I was going to say, but I think for this one factor for me will be young Gonçalo Ramos, and see if he can keep on going the way he burst onto the scene the other night. He was fantastic the other night when he came on. 100%. He is definitely one for the future, I think.
What's your score prediction for this one?
I think it is going to be 1-0 Portugal.
Okay.
I'm completely in agreement with you boys. I think Morocco will sit in, but I think Portugal have got the ability to be a bit more direct and be a bit less readable than Spain, because if you're looking at Spain, you know they're going to start passing the ball around the park and that as well.
Portugal also have, which has been the best player at the tournament, and it is Bruno Fernandes.
He's
been an absolute joke.
He's been mental good.
He suits the system so much better for Portugal. I think it'll be 2-0.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think they're going to get an early goal like they did the other night. Just sit in. Morocco are not going to know what to do, and then Portugal will just pick them apart again. Just Portugal have impressed me so much. People were writing them off for some reason.
It's because of the Ronaldo thing.
Yeah,
actually, they were coming into the tournament with so much drama.
I think what we've noticed is that maybe the Ronaldo thing's actually has it been helped by the fact that he's now been taken out the first team.
Yeah.
He's not particularly great at the tournament so far, and now that he's obviously, you mentioned Ramos coming in and playing, they look a much better side.
Yeah, Ramos, as Heggie said, Fernandes, he's been fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Like they've got so really, really good players in that lineup.
We've seen a good few teams at this World Cup.
They're one of them.
They are one of them. Brazil, France, England.
Yeah.
And most of them have Man City players in them.
Yeah, Cancelo, talking about Cancelo, he's another one that missed the game though during the week. Ruben Diaz though, of course, as well. Bernardo Silva,
of course.
So I also agree with you saying 2-0 to Portugal. I think a big fact here is the fact that Morocco played a full 120 minutes and penalties. You could tell that they were absolutely drained by the end of it. Players coming off injured. I think their centre back Aguerd, that plays for West Ham, came off. I think that's going to be the big thing. I think that they're going to try and play the same way as you guys have mentioned, as they did against Spain. But I don't think they're going to be as resolute, and I think they will leak a couple of goals. I think they'll lose 2-0. I just think they'll get goals. Portugal. I just think that it will be a lapse in concentration from Morocco because of how draining that game against Spain was.
I think we need to praise Morocco as well, because everyone wrote them off before the tournament.
Yeah, we forgot who they had.
Yeah, exactly. Their defence is unbelievable.
No, they've got Hakimi, then they've got
Mazraoui
and
Agard.
Ziyech as well. Ziyech up front.
Saiss as well. Then Amrabat's been one of the best players at the tournament as well. The midfielder. They've got a really good keeper that had a great game, of course. Sevilla striker. It's a good team. Yeah. It's a very good team. But I do think this is unfortunately the end for them. I think Portugal will make it to the semis.
Portugal got more like tricks in the locker that they could use to undo that Moroccan defence than Spain do.
Yeah, Morocco's best positions have been potentially the midfield, which you say, but they've not had anyone to deal with like Bruno so far and Bernardo in the same team. And Boufal and Ziyech have been really good out wide. But they're coming up against Dallo and Guerrero, who are also very good.
But it could be Cancelo.
And it could be Cancelo as well. Like,
I think they should play Dallo again, though.
I think you should. I think you're right.
I was going to say, he's been just my surprise of the season generally, I think, as well, one of them, because he's been really, really good. Even for Man United, but just before the break, he was really good.
I would play personally Dallo and Cancelo. Cancelo in the left.
I'd say they too.
Yeah.
But Guerrero is just favoured by the manager. I think.
I can understand why though. Guerrero is very good.
I think Cancelo, but it's quite weird. But I think he's told to play so differently for Portugal. He's not given the same freedom to go forward.
He's not inverted either.
And I think that takes away from what he's amazing at. He's just great on the ball. Yeah. I don't think he's particularly special going backwards. I don't think he's that great defensively. I think Dallo's potentially better.
Yeah.
That's why maybe Dallo fits that right back role a wee bit better for this Portugal team. But we'll see. If they need to break down Morocco late in the game, maybe Cancelo's better to get on there and maybe get him actually allowed to go forward.
They definitely have that option if they want to throw Cancelo forward.
So we're saying 2-0 and a 1-0 for that.
1-0 for me, yeah.
Final game. I think this is. I know we've mentioned that the best game maybe is the Holland game. This is the biggest game.
That's the biggest game.
Of course it is. It's England against France. What a game! Take us away.
Two very, very on-form teams.
Where do you start?
Where do you start? Like, generally, one place I will start is Kylian Mbappe. He has been immense this tournament. Like right backs just don't know what to do with him. But he's up against a very, very stern challenge in that right back position against Kyle Walker. That is going to be very, very interesting. It's tough to predict. I was wavering on. It was like a heart and head kind of thing, but I am going to say by the narrowest of narrow margins, 3-2 France.
Oh, 3-2. That's a game.
I was going to say I think we'll see the likes of Bellingham have a good game for England. I think Rashford and Kane will have good games for England. I think one of those combo are going to score the 2 goals, but I think Mbappe and Giroud will have their way. I think as well in there because England. I think they will start to tire a little bit. They usually start tiring at least a tiny bit in this stage of the tournament, and I don't think they can do that against France. France, I think, have been building up to this. This is their big game. This will be the game that proves them. Yeah. If they're going to go to the final, they need to win this game.
I think, everything you've just said there about France, I'm going to be honest, you can say the same thing to England. This is the big test for them. I think, Craig, you were telling me the other night that this is a game that England's been planning for 2 years, which sounds ridiculous because you're like, well, they only knew about this.
No, I get that.
The groups like a year ago, but what was it you were saying to me?
The FA, was this about the guy for the FA saying we were looking to do well in the 2022
No. What?
It came out the other day about another leak from the England camp, which we always get. They had a contingency plan for 2 years to deal with Mbappe, and it was just Mbappe. So
does that not tell you everything you need to know, like genuinely?
But the plan apparently is they're going to try and get Mbappe running backwards rather than forwards. So they're going to be more attacking down the right hand side.
So I think what you were meaning by that is obviously Saka is probably the favoured right mid, but he does a lot of defensive work, which means he's not like on the shoulder of the fullback and trying to make runs in behind. And maybe you're thinking Rashford's more that man
potentially,
or Saka's Trent, told to do further forward, or
Trent at right back where he will just go forward and Mbappe will need to track back.
I don't think you can have Trent up against
not
Mbappe. I think it has to be the other way one for me. I think because as soon as Mbappe is up against Trent is toast. I'm sorry, he is. Trent's a good fullback.
And also
against Mbappe, you need Walker here.
And throwing Trent in a quarter final against Mbappe, I think, is the wrong.
It's not happening. It can't happen.
Unless they play 5 at the back with the Trent and Walker.
I get that.
They could. I get that, but I still think it's maybe a bit too soon.
Again, if you're going to play that right, you probably play Saka there. Again,
and also
you're not playing Trent. I think it's Rashford or Saka that plays on the right.
Also, I think with a lot of the talk recently about Mbappe versus Walker, that's kind of made the selection for England. Like they kind of have to put Kyle Walker there.
But on the other hand, Deschamps, as you said to me the other day, is one of the cockiest managers in the world.
He's also one of the most conservative managers in the world now.
Yeah, but he might just not care about that. Just put Mbappe out there against anyone. And Southgate might try and bluff him into playing Walker when he doesn't play him, and try and counter France out there. But it is just that is where the game will be won for France. Mbappe, if they can get Mbappe in the game, it just unlocks everything. It unlocks Giroud, it unlocks Dembele, it unlocks Griezmann dropping in, and
it allows that front three to really start making.
Yeah, that's good, and they've all been good. Dembele's been good. Giroud's got goals, and even Griezmann has been very good.
Record goal scorer for France, King Giroud.
Yeah, I think for me, I think you said 3-2.
3-2 France.
I like that. I was thinking maybe a 2-2 win on pens for one of the two. But I'm just going to edge it for France and give them a 2-1 win. I could see anything. I think I really could.
Anything could happen in this game.
Yeah, I think it's going to give me a game won by moments, and I think that having Mbappe and having it won by moments.
And in the same vein, that this is a big game for France. If England win this, they genuinely might have a shout.
Well, if this is England's big test,
and they'll have Portugal next, won't they?
Yeah, which they will be favourites against.
Or Morocco.
They will be favourites against either of them.
Potentially.
And then the only other test after that could be Brazil or Argentina.
If they put out France though.
No. If they put out France, you are definitely favourites. I think the only team you're not favourites against from that point onwards is Brazil. You're probably actually favourites against Argentina if you've beaten France.
Yeah. I was going to say you'd probably be right in that one as well.
Yeah. Scram these, by the way.
That's a bit of glorious mukbang.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 2 each.
Mm-hmm.
And I
But
think
England penalties, oh dear.
I think France will win in extra time.
Oh, you don't think penalties?
No.
What do you think score will be at 3-2 then?
3-2 in extra time. But I think there's more chance England win than Argentina.
You said that to me. That's interesting. So I see. I hear your point. I completely disagree. I think the Argentina Netherlands ones is more of a flip of a coin. No. Yeah, it's more of a flip of a coin than the result. France England. I think France England. I'm more likely to just go. I think France will just win that.
I think this England France game for me is just totally 50-50. Whereas I'm slightly leaning towards Netherlands, which makes that statement what I've said.
But then
for me,
for you, yeah. But if I think we're looking at it as a collective, two of us have obviously gone for Argentina winning. I think we've got to then, as a collective, say that the easier. But I get for you, yeah,
as a collective.
As a collective.
No, I think if England were to win this game, there is
one team to beat them, and that's it. Sorry.
No. I'm saying to win this game, there's two areas that they can do it. It is in midfield, because I think Rabiot is a slight weakness.
He's been good as well, but
Bellingham's better.
But you've got to say it, yeah.
But Jude Bellingham has had one of the best tournaments of his life.
I was going to say maybe experience comes into it, but then you think about how experienced Bellingham, or the maturity you feel Bellingham plays with at his age. Maybe that's not an issue.
Yeah. In the other position, I see England potentially getting the better of France as Koundé at right back against either Foden or Rashford, whoever it is.
Even Grealish,
yeah. He's not a right back. It's not his natural position.
Yeah, that could come back to bite him.
Yeah. But France do have a lot of strengths in their arsenal as well.
Whereas I'm just thinking of Dembele making that inverted run, and he's on Maguire's side. I think Dembele actually might have more to say than we think, and we're talking about bigging up Mbappe here. Maybe I've just completely forgot about that Dembele cutting inside.
I was going to say
Shaw getting run ragged as well.
The image I can see of one of them is either Mbappe or Dembele putting a ball in like the 117th minute, and it's been headed in by Giroud.
I don't know if Giroud's still on the pitch.
I was going to say I don't think Giroud lasts the 90, let alone the 120.
Nah, I think it'll be adrenaline kind of thing. It'll be like keep me on.
Imagine Giroud getting a winner.
If Giroud gets the winner, that for me is one of them.
So I think with what you've just said there about the wingers, maybe it does suit England to play the 5, because then Maguire's in the middle and he's totally protected.
I think you're right.
Gareth, if you're
There's been a lot of talk about that. Obviously, what formation do they play? Is it negative to go back to just make? A lot of England fans are saying they make France think about you. Don't just if you're accepting that you think France are better than you if you're dropping your formation. That is what they're doing. It's almost admitting defeat before it even starts. But it maybe is the best idea. It's such a
balancing act. That's probably the biggest decision I think of Southgate's England career. I think
I'm giving us
apart from the final, obviously.
We've absolutely rambled about that England-France game. It shows how big the game is, though.
Yeah. It's huge. It's the biggest game. It's the biggest game in the quarter.
Now, obviously, we all still think that. Oh, actually, hold on.
Does this change?
So obviously, Aaron, you still think, I'm assuming that Brazil are going to win the World Cup.
Yes, I do.
We'll quickly talk about this. Obviously, we don't know who's actually going through. You and I. Well, actually, I've still got Argentina. I now think that Brazil are going to win it. I think I've just changed my mind. I'm sorry, I have. What about you? Because obviously Germany is who you picked. They get knocked out.
I'm actually interested to hear this as well.
I've got a couple of sneaky feelings.
But you can't go. You know what? I think Brazil could, but I also think France might. But England, you know what?
You've not even named my two sneaky feelings. I've got either Holland or Portugal. I think one of them could do it for the first time ever.
That's the final.
Not the final. I think one of them will get to the final. I think one of them will win it. I'm not 100% certain who.
I don't hate it. I mean,
I think
it's not the worst out. Definitely not.
I think Portugal have the easiest route, because Netherlands have to play Argentina and probably Brazil. It's a very hard route. If they can put both of them out, then
then they must be considered favourites for the final.
But I've been very impressed with Portugal. I'm going to go say Portugal.
Say Portugal. No, I don't actually. I've said Brazil just there. I still have a clue.
You blotted out Brazil rather quickly than that as well.
I just think they've got the most complete squad. Yeah. I think they just edged France.
Brazil have got two very, very hard games though in the semi and the final, but they are well equipped to win. Well equipped to win those games.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
gonna go for Brazil slightly.
I've not really changed, and based off the performance in the last day, I'm pretty confident. As you said, they've got the tools to win, the most complete squad. I think it's theirs to lose now.
Yeah.
So, and if they do lose it, then whoever beats them.
Do you know a good stat? Brazil have the same World Cups as the 7 countries left combined.
But the 7 countries combined, only 3 of them have won it. I'm pretty sure it's Argentina, France, and England.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. That's a good start, wasn't it?
There we go. That's a good way to end. That's a good way to end the video.
Yeah. If you enjoyed our ramble, our mukbang,
a ramble mukbang.
We're going to title it
mukbang,
but we ate some sweeties.
It'll bring in the views. Trust me.
Yeah. If you enjoyed it, leave us a like and subscribe and comment down below anything you want to see us talk about in the future. And as always,
take it easy.
Take it easy.